What's going on, guys? This is Jimmy. I'm one of the mods, also known as Jumanji1776. Please like and subscribe OG Trading on YouTube. This is our homepage right here, Option Goats Trading. You can get to the Discord link right down here with the join now. And then just so you know, with the free membership, we do give out a call out every now and then you also get the free general chat. If you upgrade to the OG Prime membership, you would get the Prime chat, mentorship, watch list, OG education that we have, so the Teachable account, all that good stuff. Your access to Q&A. If you ever have any questions, you can always message a mod. One of the big things that come with the OG Prime membership would be the OG Flow bot that spits out callouts, sponsored by Traditics. Awesome bot. Have never had a bot as good as this one before. And it's really changed a lot of traders' styles and their returns. So like I said, let's see, Option Goats Trading. Right here is our YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe and watch our previous swing recap videos. This is the swing recap for the past week from May 10th all the way till May 14th. This one is going to be a little weird just because we didn't have so many swings because of how big the market was moving. Instead, we had a lot of day trading that was going on this past week. One of our biggest promotions right now, typically it's a $60 monthly premium. If you use the code SPRING30, lowercase all spring and then 30, you would get a $30 per month for 3 months. So instead of paying $180 for 3 months, you'd be paying $90, so half the price, and you would get it for 3 months. So that's the deal that's going on right now. Feel free to watch our 50 SMA and 200 SMA video that I've made on the overall market, and then feel free to watch all of our swing recaps that are posted in our announcements in our Discord. So here is the Discord right here on the left, and I have all of these tabs showing what we went through this week. So like one of the biggest things this week was, since the market was so volatile, I mean, a lot of stuff happened. Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live on Saturday, and then he said on Monday or Tuesday that, or midweek, that he was not going to take Bitcoin or Doge, and that caused the crypto to crash, as well as the market came down as well. So let's pull up a chart real quick of the SPY, and let's take a look at all this volatility that happened. There was a lot of really good opportunities for day trades, which was the main source of my returns this week. Couldn't really get a handle of a lot of swings. With the big drop on Tuesday, ended up being just a damage control type day. So we ended up closing for profits on some and rolling. When we rolled, we actually had to get stopped out of some of the positions that we had rolled into. So if we look at SPY here at the beginning of the week, we came in really hot, coming down, gapped down. Next day we gapped down again, came lower, and we went even lower from here. So from the top 422, we went as low as 404 midweek, and then here we are bouncing all the way to 416. What's going to happen on Monday? Not sure. We're either going to gap up or we're going to fill the gap below and head lower. Now this chart's going to look a little different than the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is showing a much more dramatic drop from last week. So I definitely have my eyes on a lot of tech stocks going into it. So on the watch list that we had, if you're new to watching the video, we have a watch list for the scalpers that use breakout levels. We also have an educational teachable account that teaches you how to use the watch list. We also have day trade ideas showing the moves that we get. So for example, today corn had Tesla minus 583, would have been a $12 move for a scalp. Also had a Tesla 590 call, or 590 level, which made a $3 move. Square minus 201. See, all these stocks moved up and down so big throughout the day that any of these levels could have been played for a scalp and you would have been profitable. So good job, corn. And then I also have some of my recaps for my day trades. The one that I really liked today was especially the Tesla. The Tesla trade that I had this morning was a good trade. Had I held longer, I definitely left money on the table, but that's okay. We came out green. Now for the swing trades that we had this week, we had a lot of, well, let's just kind of go over it for a second. So we had an XLE butterfly, right, on Monday, and we closed out for, let's see if we can find it here. Okay, so here's our XLE profits that we closed out from before, right? And then we rolled another XLE spread that we had from the week before. So here we had the bullish butterfly for 514, and then we also had a 528. So we came out profitable here on the longer range one, and we also came out profitable on the mid-range one, which is good. Now we did roll them into the new one, which we're still holding. We're down and we're red on it, but that's okay because it's for 528, and later in the week we actually ended up energy ended up being really bullish towards the end of the week because the Colonial Pipeline that was closed last week. Now we paid the ransom of whatever $1 million. Now they're going to let Colonial Pipeline have back the information that they stole. It all worked out, and now XLE is coming back to the 54 level, which is where we want this stock to go to. Is what we want it to go to 55 for our butterfly. So we're still holding it. We're down on it, but that's okay. Moving on, we did have a Citigroup play on Monday. I felt really good going into energy and banks only because they were strong, right? And after Monday, we tanked, and the next day we tanked even more. I was losing a good chunk. I was about to hit my stop loss on my Citi butterfly. So I ended up exiting. Had you held, it literally went back to the same level it did on Monday. So this is what I mean, that the market went into a whole roller coaster because it went as high as 76, and we also went as low as 73.50. We lost about 30% on the trade, which was okay because I was ready to lose about 50 bucks on the trade. Had I held, I would have been fine, and I probably would have gained back most of the losses. Hindsight's 2020, so we would have never known that. So that was good risk management for the beginning of the week. So moving on, we did have a Dow Jones 355 call. This one I didn't want to risk a lot of money just because we were already high enough, and Qs and SPY were coming up pretty big towards the end of the week, but they were dropping really low. They were popping at the end of the week, but they were dropping in the beginning of the week. Dow Jones was actually ripping when everything was dying, so I felt pretty confident going into a Dow Jones call. Here we are right here, bought the call, and then immediately the following days throughout the whole week, we lost on that trade. Now, look how I only spent $54 on that weekly. The weekly was up here, it dropped here. I didn't lose 100, I didn't lose 200, I didn't lose 500, I lost $50. That was a good way of making sure that you're portion sizing to make sure that you do not lose more than what you're risking to make, especially on a weekly. You don't want to drop $200 or $300 on a weekly because you have no idea what the market is going to do. This was a really good example that spending $54 on that call was a good risk management because that ended up being expired worthless. So here's the square put debit spread that we had on, I believe, Tuesday. Let me see if I can find the call out here. So, real quick, that Citigroup that we lost on, we actually made money on the spread before, so it ended up being a wash beforehand. So that one I wasn't too worried about from the Citigroup. So here's the square. Here was a good exit point. I ended up losing on the trade by about 20 bucks. It fluctuated 50 from here, and this was on, I believe, Tuesday on the put debit spread. So it ended up popping. This was when I grabbed it when it was at 210. It popped to 220. It was looking really bullish. Had I held, I would have actually been able to make money under the 205. So this was a call up from the TradeAddicts bullseye bot, which was really good had I held it, or maybe had I just waited until the end of the day to get out of it. But I did post a good profit taking point. This ended up being a 20%er for some of the traders that grabbed that trade. So good job if you held. I got out of it red, so that was kind of the way swings were this week. So moving on, I did have a SPY 420 call. This was only a $20 call. This one was only if the market was going to bounce back up from that big day that we dropped. Obviously, the next following days, we dropped even lower. So again, portion sizing, $20. This thing was only $20. Had SPY popped back up all the way up to 420, we would have made we would have made 100, 200, 300%. It's 20 bucks, right? It's 20 bucks. So it's not, we didn't want to put too much money into a call that was going to be expiring the following day. Here, I even mentioned volatility is back. I'm not very confident, but would be surprised if we start swinging $10 to each side this week. We did start swinging $10, but only after we dipped as low as 404 on Wednesday. So that's just kind of how that happened. Sold the vertical put spread on Wednesday, when we were dipping, ended up being stop lossed out of it. So only lost about $5 on the trade. It didn't lose too much. Had we held, it would have been a really drastic loss. So again, that's kind of the theme with the swings this week. Now on Thursday, we did catch a break on TAL. This again was from the bot. We bought and sold, we sold a 50 to 52.50 call vertical spread. We collected $135 and we ended up collecting 27%, which made up for a lot of the losses that we made on the swings prior, right? So that ended up being a really good trade on TAL. Had you bought the put by itself, you would have made money as well. So here was the entry that we had here when it was at 52.13. And then right the next day, it just kept dropping. I actually cut it right here. Had I held, I would have collected a lot more premium, but we still got out with 30% profit, which is a great return on a trade. So let's move on here. Corn had an SQ call on Wednesday. That ended up popping up. He literally bought it at the dip, and he bought Uber at the dip. So he ended up having good trades here. I don't believe he sold them yet. I think he's seeing that Tech Inspire going to keep going up next week starting Monday. So Spike ended up doing a John Deere spread towards the end of the day. This is a very, very bullish stock. If we pull out the daily right here, you can see it likes to bounce around this 365 level, and it was staying up at 382 really well. He decided to do the 390 and 400 call, and this is for the June 18th expiration. So this John Deere moves very, very big. So he just needs one pop towards 400 to come out profitable, and he can be able to double his money 100%, hopefully even 50% if the calls get pumped. There's that square call that Corn had again on Friday. I grabbed, and then he also grabbed the Uber call like we were talking about. I sold a team 210, 212, 50, 521 call vertical. This is on Atlassian, so I'm bearish on a lot of tech stocks. So if I pull up the 1 hourly here, right here, this is, if we pull up Qs, this was a really good sign. Although it didn't drop as much as I wanted it to, Qs ended up going absolutely higher and higher throughout the day. Team stayed at exactly the same level today. Had Qs came down, team would have actually probably made my spread out of the money, and I could have collected my premium today. Now, if this pop happens on Monday and Tuesday, and then maybe Wednesday or Thursday, we get down more downward pressure from Qs, we should be able to get enough to make team dip below this, get that out of there, dip below the 210 level. Since we sold the premium for $130, we should be looking to make $50 to $80 if it dips below the 210. So I haven't given up on that play. It did stay level when everything moved. So I feel pretty good about it. It is for next week's expiration. Again, I'm only risking $120 to make $130, and it has a really high probability of making the trade. So the swings came out a little better towards the end of the week. Here's Corn. He's grabbing a leap, or not a leap, but a Tesla long call for 528. It was $200. Very, very nice portion sizing there, Corn, with only $200 call on Tesla. Tesla's option prices are usually pretty high, so that's an awesome play right there. Towards the end of the day, I did sell a 75-80 path vertical call spread. So here's the 75 level, and then 80 is up here. This is path. This is an IPO, and my whole play with this is that we got the bot called out a lot of put sweeps that were coming in on this stock. And it's an IPO. So how I feel about IPOs is that IPOs always go down in the first 2, 3, 4, sometimes the first year they're going to be going down. I didn't want to grab the 70 strike. Instead, I went higher and grabbed the 75 since it seemed like that is a major resistance for the spread. So we sold the premium for $95. The max loss is $450. So if it does pop, we would be cutting if it gets to 75, which would be about a $50 or $100 loss. But today is Friday. We sold the call verticals for $95. It has a theta of $4. So think about it. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, $4, $8, $12. If we get $1 or $2 down, that's a $22 delta move. We'd be able to get out with at least 33, 50, or even 75% on the trade if path stays the same or goes down. In the last video, I talked about how stocks do 3 things. It goes up, down, and sideways. We need path to either go sideways or down as long as it doesn't go up, we have a 66% chance of making the trade. And this being an IPO, I feel pretty confident that it's going to be dropping just like the team Atlassian call spread. So that ended up being, I feel really good about that play. With all the volatility, again, we didn't do a lot of swing trading. So this is kind of going to be a little bit more of a day trade recap. Couldn't get a grasp on the overall market, except we knew that there were big moves in the morning. So let's kind of look at some of those big moves. On Monday, we were looking at Boeing and Facebook. We made a quick 40 bucks. I'm going to show you a lot of profit taking I made on day trades. The reason why you're not going to see me make 100, 200, 500 on a trade is because, yeah, I may have more than 10 or 20,000 in my account, but that doesn't mean I'm going to day trade $5,000, $10,000 per trade. I only devote about $1,000 of my own whole portfolio into day trading, right? So this whole week, we ended up being very profitable, making about 400 for the week. So that's a pretty good rate. If you make 400 per week, that's what, 1,600 per month. What is that per year? So if you make 1,600 per month, so 12, yeah, that'd be $20,000 out of $1,000 account, $1,000 buying power, I should say, right? So those are pretty good. So we played Boeing, we played Facebook on Monday, I believe, when we were popping on right here when it was going up from, oh no, it was this one right here. So on Monday, right here, you can see the Boeing pop. We made money there. And then on the Facebook pop on Monday, we also got a pop right there. So we came out with 40 bucks. Those options were not very expensive. I only spent about 150, 200 bucks. So I was making consistently 10% profitable gains on that. Here on SPY, we were playing puts. SPY puts were definitely the play this week. So here are the SPY puts right here. We gapped lower and then we played we gapped lower up. We gapped up higher, stayed the same here, and we went down lower throughout this first day on Monday. We bought 10 of the SPY 419 puts. I bought 10 of them at 20 cents. And then I sold when it hit 29, when it started to pump, not all the way down here, just a dollar pump right here to 421. So that was I spent $200, made $90. That was the good trade right there. So moving on. Moving on. Let's see if I can move this here, maybe. There we go. So moving on. So the next same day, playing the 420 puts because we were starting to get a really big move towards the end of the day here. So when we started seeing the volatility and the premium was starting to pump up, we grabbed a couple of these puts, made $31 right there. Then on, let's see, this was May 12th. So let's go Qs. So on this day, we played QQQ calls because we gapped down, and then Tick on that same day was gapping as low as almost minus 2,000. So if I pull up Tick here, this is where, okay, it was this day right here. You can see Tick opened up at minus 1951. That is huge. If I zoom back out at Tick, I can't find another place. All the way back to January was when it was opening up that low. That's how I knew the volatility was back. And at that moment, I knew that there was going to be a whipsaw and the stock was going to whip back up. We bought the 322 calls for Qs when Tick opened up this low, and we played the whole ride. Well, we didn't play the whole ride up, but we made money, 44 bucks on those calls. Again, I'm using a very small account. Day trading, I don't have to make big gains to get into that. So here again, we played another part of this pump on Tick, made $32 right there. Here are the SPY puts that we made on the following day. So let's pull up SPY. So these were May 12th. On this day right here, the 405, these were far away. So we bought 10 of them again at 19 cents, and then we sold when they were 23. So up here, move that down. I only spent let's see, only $190 and made $40 out of it. So again, 10, 15% gainers really, really add up. So moving on, again, here's a 404 put that we played here. Nice little move. Again, buying 2 and made a quick 22 bucks on the 404 put. Here is Tesla at the 580. So here was the day that we played Tesla. Let's move the 5-minute here. So here we got the short entry up here, especially when Tick was coming back up. And then when it up here, we saw that it was coming down, tick was coming down. We entered the short put at 580, and then it came down about right here is where I got out for 50 bucks. Had I held just for a couple more minutes, I would have made another $100, $200. So again, if you're getting into these cheap and able to get out and stay green while you're in them and placing yourself in a more profitable spot instead of playing the breakout, not saying the breakout strategy is bad, but just saying if you're just buying them cheap, you're more probable to get out when you're you have a high probability of getting out profitable. So here you can see the short, there's the exit. There's the TAL profits. There's the affirm puts that we played also, which was the day trade that we had on, here it is right here, grabbing the affirm 45 put for 521. Here was the entry right here. Here's the entry right here, and then we made money once it made the move down. This did not have a very good bid. Look how the bid and ask is $10 apart. We bought a couple of them. We made a quick $32. Again, little percentage gainer is adding up. Here was today's day trade. Just so you know, I do go live every morning for the first couple hours. Me and my buddy Syed are watching the market. Some watch, some join in, some are learning, some are asking questions. This was a good day on Monday through Friday. I ended green on all of them, and I ended up being $400 profitable than I did from last Friday. So here we had a good trade on Boeing. Q puts. I was looking for a gap fill on Qs. So this was my thinking. Here on Friday. We gapped up. So I was looking for a gap fill on the lower side. See if I can find it. There it is. There's the gap that it's been making for the past week. Now it was dipping below in it, and then I grabbed a put here, and then it started going up. I was only to come out with a $22 loss, and then I made a successful trade on SPY and Tesla while live trading. We were able to get out with $37. Okay, so again, all added, you made about $400 on the week. Here's another example of shorting SPY when tick was high, and then shorting SPY again and came out profitable. Had we held, SPY would have made a lot of money. Notice that all these entries are really good entries, showing that the either tick is showing overextended to one side and we're looking for a whipsaw to the other side, or we're just playing the levels from the watch list that Corn and Spike provide every morning. Either way, we're getting ideas, we're making levels, we're making trades. On Monday, we did close out the UAL swing trade. That was a $50 profitable trade. And then, okay, so then there's the square, there's the affirm, and then there's the entry. So that's it for the swings and the day trades. One of the biggest things I want to make sure I go over is every week we do a competition of the Hall of Fame for OG trading. This week we had, let's see, we had a member that played, here he is. We had a member that played Square, QQQ, and Tesla. Congratulations, Mo. You are a Hall of Famer here at OG Trading again for this month. Awesome trades. Keep up the great work. The swings are looking good and the scalps are looking good. So now since he is a Hall of Famer for the month of May, he is going to be entered for the end of month prize for the $50 prize. All he has to do is just post his profits, or he could have gone down to member trades, which is right here, this channel, and post his entry and his exit. And if he was profitable, we pick you. And at the end of the month, we would decide whether or not you would be the one that would be winning the prize. So volatility was crazy. Ransoms with Colonial Pipeline, Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live, not taking Bitcoin, and then the volatile market going from 336 all the way to 316. So it was a crazy, crazy week. Again, feel free to check out our old swing recap videos and then our Option Goats Trading website. Don't forget to hit join now, and then also hit the watermark down here for the subscribe and like button. Good week overall, a lot more day trades. I'll be doing a little bit more day trading as the coming days go on, just because it seems like a lot of the members want to see what is going on and what I'm doing, because obviously it looks like I'm coming out profitable almost every day. They may be small, but I still come out profitable. Everybody's pretty curious about how I do it. I won't be posting day trades in the day trade channels anymore. If you want to catch my day trades in the morning, I'm going to be live in the morning, so just catch me there. Again, Spring 30 is the discount to get the 30 for 3 months promo code and the discounted membership. Great week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday.